Hello, everybody. The topic we will be discussing or trying to think about is pertaining to equality. Is equality something that is, really achievable? And to what extent is it achievable? Is something that will be, give us a situation where everybody is equal, every caste, religion, race, sex, everybody, all of them. We will no longer need we'll no longer feel the need of Article 15 and 16 probably because everyone is the same. Is that situation gonna happen? Well, it depends on how you view equality. Okay, my perspective of equality is absolutely, different from what a lot of people I hear talk about it. And I think everyone has the right of conceiving a notion they do. But I would like to know, how do you conceive equality to be? And let me know if you really agree with what I'm gonna say. And if you do not, let me know why don't you agree with what I say. Well, a lot of people talk about equality on ground. Okay, for people, equality is when if something has happened on a final stage, let's say, if that's the right word to use, final stage. Okay, now a lot of people talk about there's no women rights in India, women are lagging behind, and I'm not discounting that fact. I agree that the involvement of women is very, very less compared to what it should be, but how I see equality makes it, a little more comfortable situation than what most people are trying to point at. Okay, in earlier days, when I say earlier days, I've talked about hundreds of years ago, women did not have basic rights. Women did not have basic rights to, probably even have that freedom of doing what they wanted to, freedom of learning what they wanted to, freedom of living a life how they wished to, how they aspired to. And that was not a great situation to be in. And it really makes me feel sad that they had to go through all that pain. But that situation was where they were not even treated as equals. Definitely not. And the biggest point here you have to focus on is that they were not allowed to do what they wanted to do. The focus here should be on allowed. And I definitely do not agree that anybody should have any right, on determining what the other person is allowed to or not. But that's totally a different concept we wouldn't want to get into right now in this video, but maybe some other day. So in earlier days, women were not allowed to do what they wanted to, and that is very sad. That is very, very, very sad. And that is why, the male dominance or dominance of one section or one gender increased to a very, very large extent. Okay. And that is why we often say that, we need women to be given equal rights and all of that, and they should be 110%. But how I view equality is different. Okay. The other day I was talking to a person, I wouldn't want to name, but yeah, the person was like कि यार इंडिया में तो कोई इक्वालिटी है ही नहीं, हमारे टॉप 10 इंडियन रिचेस्ट में पर्सन्स देख लो, उसमें तो 5 भी वुमेन नहीं है, इक्वल क्या 4-3 भी नहीं है. आई एम लाइक ब्रो, दैट्स नॉट हाउ यू जज इक्वालिटी, दैट्स नॉट हाउ यू मेजर इक्वालिटी. अगर हम लोग उस बेसिस पे इक्वालिटी जज करने लगे, लेट्स से there will be a situation where then top 10 में से 7 फीमेल्स होंगे, and you'll be like, now that's equality. Bro, that's not equality. 5-5 equality, but that's not possible. There'll be times जब 10 में से 7 या 8 females रहेंगे. There'll be times जब 10 में से you'll have 7 or 8 or probably even 10 males, and that's fine. There has to be healthy competition. There has to be healthy competition. You cannot say that no. The top 10 में से 5 should be females, 5 should be males. Or let's say even if third genders are also there, it's 3, 4 whatsoever. That's not how you determine equality. How I see equality is where you get a chance to be in top 10, top 100, top 500 whatsoever. You have that means, you have that freedom, you have that choice, and that is what exactly matters. How we see equality should be very much focused on ground. How we see equality should be very much focused on, is that person having the choice today? If a girl in most of the suburbs and urban cities, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, if they want to study, they do. They get a choice what to study. They get a choice to study. They get a choice to aspire the career they wish to. And if in that career they excel or not, that's a individual story. That's something pertaining to their skill set. That is not what we really need to get into, because it varies from person to person. But they have the means. Real equality is where you have the means, and if that person is using those means to achieve their end, then well and good. And if they're not, then that is not because there is no equality. That is because that woman or that person or that man is not definitely efficiently utilizing those means. So that is a different story altogether, that we have to focus on differently. But real equality is where you know, if I ask two students, let's say A and B, and ask both of them to prepare for an exam, and if I give A 10 resources, B 2 resources, definitely A has more edge over B. But if I give A and B both the same number of resources, same quality of resources, and if A excels, then that's fine. That does not mean that, you know, B is lagging behind, or B, you know, there's no equality in that respect. That is absolutely fine. So we really have to understand, is equality always on paper? A lot of people will tell, you know, there is no female CJI that has ever been in India, एंड पाकिस्तान को तो हो गया, उनके पास तो एक फीमेल चीज़ें आई थी, कहाँ रह गए? आवर इंडियन सोसाइटी इज़ लैगिंग बिहाइंड, वी नीड चेंज. ब्रो, काम डाउन. इंडिया में there have been several female judges who have served in this well-esteemed Supreme Court, but we need to understand the system, how it works. India mein you get to be CJI by being the senior most. Probably by the time the female judges that have served in India, by the time they reached that seniority, probably unka 65 years end ho gaya tha, and once you're 65 you have to retire. So that could be the reason why we didn't have CJI. But we definitely had a lot of female a lot of female judges, and that should also be respected. So you by macro analysis is great, but if you do macro specific analysis, then that's very risky, because you are painting a different picture altogether of what is happening in reality. Reality is when everyone is given the same stage, same platform, same amount of resources, and uske baad they are free to do whatever you want. I give five students the same color, same pencil, same paper. Now it depends on them, their artistic skills, how they paint it, and that is what we should admire. That is not where A B C D सबको बोलो कि बराबर same to same paint करो, वो होने से रहा. That is never gonna happen, and we need to realize that. And one more thing, I really have to, this is something I just very recently thinking कि curbing of rights is more in the top strata than in the lower strata. When I say strata, economically, okay, not religiously, caste basis or anything else. It's just that a lot of our house helpers are probably females, but you see a lot of rich people jinke ladies, not now, earlier, were just housemakers and nation builders. But the fact here is that why a person of low economic strata is allowing his women or allowing his daughter or whosoever to go out and work, because there was a need. That need was there. He allowed. He did not think, oh my God, this is, how can I allow my my daughter, my sister, my wife to work? They don't think so. So it's a very funny way that the women rights were let's say a little bit more relaxed in lower economic strata than the upper, because you probably it's a very common instance where a housemaid or a house helper is a female coming into the houses of probably say middle class, upper middle class, or rich people, where they are assisting a female of that house, and that female is probably just a homemaker, and this maid or house helper is an entrepreneur, is an employee. And we don't often see this, but that woman has more rights than the women of an upper economic strata compared to that of hers. And these things we do not see. These things we do not think about. All we think about is equality is where there is female CJI. Equality is where ये भी equal, वो भी equal. एक organization में 50 male, 50 female, 30 ये caste, 30 वो caste, 40 वो caste. ऐसे नहीं होता. That won't happen. We need to realize all of this. We need to think in a bigger and a better way. You will never have that. And today, I definitely say that every religion, every caste, every gender shall be given equal opportunities. But there may be times where women will excel far better than how males probably would perform. and we should appreciate that, we should acknowledge that, and we should uphold that. But there may be times when male do that, and we should still encourage that. There may be times when people of one religion, one community turn out to be very great intellectuals, and that's fine. We do not want, when you hire a person in an organization, you do not see their religion, caste, gender, and all of that. You see the skill sets for which you are hiring, and if that is syncing with the person who is there for an interview or for that hiring process, if that matches, that's it. So when we see the performance of a particular community, gender or whatsoever, if that is if that is doing well because of the resources they are provided, then that's great. And if it is not doing well despite the resources they are provided is equal with others, that's fine, because everyone has a cycle. Some excel, some don't, and that's fine. All you have to care about is the means they are provided with, not the performance. Performance will vary, performance will definitely vary and will keep varying. Today you fight for women's rights, tomorrow you'll fight for men's rights, tomorrow a day after tomorrow you'll fight for some other rights. That will definitely keep on happening, and we should acknowledge that and always support that. But the major focus should be if everyone is given an equal opportunity, equal choice, equal freedom, and equal hope. Everyone should have the freedom to hope, and that is exactly what I feel. So do let me know what you guys think about it, and that's it for now. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe the channel, and I'll probably come up with another video in a while. Thank you.